So, hi everyone. So, welcome to day 25. You have been with me for 3 weeks and more than 3 weeks. So, front end system, we have looked for the UI UX designing for the first iteration. Now, we are looking at the backend systems. We have designed our database. So, let's first track back in the Jira tool and let's see what are things we need to do it from today. What are things are done. So, let's track that. So, it's loading just a minute. And now you can see in the backend, the database design has been finished yesterday. Now, the second thing is API development we have to start, but before that, let's see what the database design looks like. So we have made it in the Lucid chart. So now this is the design we will be looking at. You can see this, the design has been added. And now we are looking at the documentation. The first documentation we were looking at the Flask. First thing we will look at the quick start. So you can see the thing it is stating to create like this. So this is the minimal thing we need to do to start our thing. So let's get back to the code, and in the app.py, let's write that code. From Flask, import Flask. And then we have to define app equals to Flask underscore app or name. And we have to write if underscore underscore name underscore underscore then app.run debug equals to true. So what does debug help? So debug states that it will debug mode will be on, so port will be 5000. You can choose any of the ports, available port, and you can add the host. So host will allow where to start from, so that will be 0.0.0.0. So this is the basic application, and to see what it does, so you can write this function to see. So I have just copy pasted this thing, and you will see those things. So I have saved this. Let's go to backend, and in the backend we have created the virtual environment. We will start that, and then start server. To start, we will write Python app.py. So I guess it didn't run. So let's see, is it running or not? It is not running. First of all, let's install. Just a second. So requirement all satisfied. So we will run application. So you can see it is not running. So let's remove this for now and try running that. Let me see. So we are looking for the backend. Just let me see the error. Okay. So we have to make something like this to make it run. Now you can see it is running. And if you see here, you can see the hello world. So now we have started this server and it's a basic Flask application is ready. But we don't want basic Flask application introduction. And now let me introduce what these terms are. So we are defining, this is the variable name as app. So we are defining our application of a Flask application which has which we are passing this as a parameter. And this has some method available that is run and which provides where we want to run it. It's a host, port number and debug modes. So based on this, we want to build our application. And now what the things we want to add? We want to add SQL Alchemy. So we will looking that and we'll try to build that. So we have to quickly start. To work on this part. So we will import this, and now we want more structures. So in backend we want one folder which is named as applications, where we want more of the things. And the first file in it is must be underscore underscore init init. So what this does, this make it as a module. We will not write anything here, but now inside this we will write models.py where we design our database here. So here we will import from Flask SQL Alchemy, import SQL Alchemy. And now we will initiate db equals to SQL Alchemy. So this is the thing, it is there. And for that we require a configuration to import here. But before that configuration, let's read that configurations. So you can see this is the configuration. So for configuration, let's create a config file. You can create in one page, but it is suggested to make it in multiple pages. So now in configuration files, what we will do, we will import from Flask, import current app as app. So what it does import the running app, and here we will do the configurations. So we will define our configurations app.config. Now you can add this configuration where you want to have this. And it is name of the Socio Connect, so we will say Socio Connect DB. Connect dot SQLite 3. Also, there is a one more configuration that need to be required, and that is database track modification, and we will make it false. Which will set up the configurations, and now we will import the configuration here. Now, and from applications dot models, import star. So what we do, db.init You can see that command db.init app. So we will see we are working outside the configuration, maybe round imports. So let's say we import db here. For now, let's say for this configurations, let's say I want to copy this configuration here itself and add it here. So now we have started the server again. Again, it is stating. So it is setting this as error. So let's comment this out and then rerun it, and let's try that. Yeah, now it is running. So now you can see, still you can see the request is there. So we have also created an instance of this, but instance has nothing because we haven't created any of the models. So let's create a model. So for that, we will create in a class-based instance. So what is class-based instance? It's an object-oriented programming where we build a class, and first class is of user. Now, why it is inside? So this helps in inheritance. So we are inheriting the property of db.model in the user class, and now in that we will define a table name. Table name is equals to, let's say, user. And now we will define our different columns we have. So for that, you can have a look around the your structure, and we have user ID, username. So user ID is a primary key. So first of all, we will write db.column. db.text, primary key of text, primary key. Now there is uh, after user ID there is a username, that will be db.column. This is also db.text. Null level equals to false. So null level means it will not be a null. You cannot store a null value here for username. And also we want this to be unique. Similarly, password is equals to db.column, comma, null level equals to false. But we don't want this to be unique because two person can have same password. Now email. Again, email will be unique. Comma, unique equals to true. Now after this there is a phone number. We can name it as phone itself. Now level equals to false. Now unique equals to true. Also second thing, we want timestamp or created at is equals to db.column, db.datetime, comma, null level equals to false. Now extra thing is JWT token. Again, this will be db.column, db.text. We want it to be nullable. No issues. So we have created one of the models. Now we similarly want model for post. So nothing, we will just make this posts. Again, it will be post ID. Created on, created at user ID. This should not be like this. Okay, now level could be there, unique could not be there, and here it should be db.foreign key. User dot user ID. So this is the referencing. And this must come here. After user ID, there is caption, post file name, likes. Likes. So this must be removed. This should not be unique. So we are ready with the posts as well. Now similarly we will make for comment and notifications. So let's make it. So that will be comment ID. It will be linked with the user ID. It will also be linked with the post ID. And then finally comment. So let's remove these things. This should not be unique. This should not be unique. But these two should be have db.foreign key. User dot user ID. So it is referencing to that post. Similarly for notifications, now it will have notification ID, which is linked to again linked to some user ID, and for that it has not some notifications. Now this should be db.foreign key. So our model is not ready. So let's restart the server and let's see. And now let's see what happens. Okay. There must be double equals to instead of single equals to. I made that mistake for every. Now the instance has been created, but you cannot see any of the instances. Why? Because we haven't created here. The first thing we require is to, again, you can see that thing which is required is to create the database. And for creation, it has given us one command, this one.
Tomorrow, Zach Crowley.
Thing in the post ID. So let's delete this, clear the action, and let's see. Again, it's saying post dot user ID could not find table user. So now it must be a table name. Let's delete this before creation, and now let's create this again. So it's running, the instance has been created. Now you can see the database. For that, I have used the extension SQLite 3. You can see the table. Every table is created. So first, let's see the user. User ID created at username, password, email, phone, generate token, right? Similarly, then we created post. You can see all the things are there. The notification is there. Then comments is there. So for now and for today, let's finish it at here. And from tomorrow, we will come back again to start with our application of APIs. Right? So thank you for joining the stream. I hope you enjoyed the session. Thank you.